Hey everyone, and welcome back. Merchant Ricky here, and we are talking about One Piece chapter 1083. I just gotta say, shout out to all the people who are like dropping these chapters so fast that we don't even have time to process the spoilers on the night they drop, right? So this chapter pretty much proved to me that Oda is the master of building up a long con, or a long game rather, not a con. So we're finally getting all the answers to what happened at Mary Joie, just one chapter at a time it seems. It seems like this will be 2 to 3 chapters of information that drop, and then we're probably finally going to go back to Egghead Island. Who knows, maybe Egghead Island will be off-screened. I was in a live chat today on the Last Arc's YouTube channel, I'll link that down below, and they brought up the possibility of that being a thing, you know, like an off-screen of that. It was a very brief comment. I don't think we talked about it anymore, but like I said, I'll link that down below. So the chapter starts off and we are getting, you know, like a little bit of information dropped from Sabo, and he's talking about how they were successful during the time they were at the Reverie attacking Ryukyugu and Fujitora, that they were able to do 3 things. Declare war on the world government via burning down their flag. They were able to destroy the food supply of the world nobles, the Tenryubito, and then they were able to free Kuma and countless slaves, Kuma being among them, obviously. And I think that was a given. We probably all guessed that more or less that's what happened. But then it gets juicier. We are then, you know, explained that CP0 is in fact comprised of everyone in CP9. That was a little brief panel in this chapter, but it is confirmed. They're all there, like literally all of them. Like not a single one of them is missing. So that alone, fantastic. That genuinely just hats off, Oda. We all knew that was probably the case, but thank you for finally telling us that was the case. You know, it even explains this happened well over a month ago, and that the reason we're getting this knowledge now is simply just because Sabo came back from Leloucia. And Ivankov even highlights, while Sabo is explaining to Dragon and and himself what's going on, Ivankov was like, look, we weren't entirely successful, Dragon. I know you're saying that you know, the 8 kingdoms rebelled. Well, one of them vanished, okay? So obviously it was not that successful, to which, you know, Dragon responds to like, well, the war has started though, because they're unveiling the Holy Knights, or, you know, they're sending off the Holy Knights, or in the fan translation, it's God's Knights. But this is kind of a big deal because it does look like they are a faction akin to the Yonko, you know, 4 emperors, or the Shichibukai, the 7 warlords. Now we're getting the Holy Knights, and, you know, this just screams Skypiea with the priest and all that. But, you know, we'll see. One of them, the silhouette does look like Shanks. That's kind of weird. I'll probably flash an image of it really quick. I'm trying to not put too many chapter images in, since this has not officially released yet. Don't want to get in trouble. But, yeah, I mean, I can't deny it. It looks like Shanks. But anyways, going further into the chapter, we find out that Karasu's devil fruit is the Sut no Mi, and it looks like a Logia. He's doing Logia things with it, dissipating completely, getting shot with bullets, and it's just going right through his body, and he's making formations of crows to shoot at people. It's pretty cool, honestly. We see that they did have a joint plan. Morley fought Ryukyugu to keep him busy and keep him in the city so that he can't swing around and do crazy things. Fujitora was literally ready to drop a meteor down, and they told him not to. It was a stupid idea, is what they told him. We see Lindbergh coordinating with Sabo and Karasu as well. Like, hey, guys, get the keys to the slaves already. And Sabo just announces, like, I just found them. And then we see him with his back to the wall, and he's noticing that Shirahoshi is still being pursued by Charlos and St. Roswald, and they're riding Kuma. So I assume, like, we're gonna find out in the next chapter how he rescued Kuma, probably just by punching them off of Kuma. But then the next panel, they show Shirahoshi really quick, and I assume she's just holding Sabo. I could be wrong. She's holding someone though. Then we see Rob Lucci of CP0 trying to talk to Vivi, like, hey, we'll protect you. And she was like, oh, like you protected Shirahoshi? Because you didn't, so no. And then we cut back again to Dragon, Sabo, and Ivankov, and Ivankov is kind of yelling at Sabo now, like, hey, okay, so explain this image right here. And it's straight up just Sabo standing over the corpse of King Cobra, which, you know, mind-blowing stuff. Like what happened, you know? And then at the very end of the chapter, we get a reveal that King Cobra was told to go to the Gorosei, and he was escorted by Chaka and Pell at the time. Chaka and Pell were told to leave, and King Cobra said, you need to go watch Vivi anyways. She's a girl that gets into trouble, so keep her safe, is what he said. And he's smiling, so I think he knows he was gonna die, and I think he knows that that was going to set off the revolution. Next chapter, I genuinely theorize that we're going to get some sort of reveal of the final events of the Reverie. Some people in the live stream I was talking to today said that they think it's going to be the Emu reveal. I don't think so, but that would be amazing. Like, anytime you want to reveal Emu to us, Oda, go ahead. I'm here for it, But what I think next chapter will be is the continuation of the events of the Reverie with one more chapter leading up to that Emu reveal. I just think the next chapter is going to focus on all the hardcore events, because this was very much a setup, like we have the admirals explaining that they can't go all out because, they're in the God's land, the Holy Land, they don't want to ruin it. And we even see Ryokyugu getting yelled at by the citizens. They're like, please, man, like, don't swing at us. We're going to get you in trouble, Ryokyugu. And he's like, damn, I can't fight back properly. So I think this was definitely a strategic plan on the Revolutionary Army front. They knew what they were doing. They chose that fight, and they knew that choosing that fight would give them the best advantage because the Holy Knights, the world nobles are just so full of themselves, they can't even stand to see their land destroyed while they're being defended. So that's, look at what happened. 4 of the revolutionary commanders that we don't really know how they truly power scale were able to fend off admirals. And I mean, Karasu was literally just fighting Fujitora by himself. Morley was legitimately going hand to hand with Green Bull by herself. Morley is a girl, by the way. I will not hear arguments about it. She literally defines herself as a girl, so just deal with it. But yeah, this chapter is wild. I probably forgot some stuff because I'm just kind of like reeling still from it. But seriously, this is some good stuff. And I like how Sabo even says, like, I gotta shoulder this burden. I'm gonna deal with what the public thinks of me since it's already stoked the quote-unquote flames of rebellion. And Dragon's like, you are unshakable. It was, all in all, this was some really good stuff. It chilled my bones that Cobra is the last thing we see in the chapter, despite us seeing his corpse with Sabo standing in front of it in like the mid-chapter. Like, we've now been 5 chapters removed from the Straw Hats. There's a reason for that, and I genuinely don't think it's for an off-screen of Egghead Island, but I think it's to finally tie up all the loose ends that matter for then the next day to be the event at Egghead Island, and how that's going to play into everything that's going on around the world. Like, they all have to tie together at this point. Will we see Blackbeard pirates land on Egghead Island next chapter? I don't think so. That would be nice to get it soon, but I think next chapter will be entirely focused on the remainder of their events at the Reverie. So we'll be able to see how Vivi escapes the clutches of the CP0, how she ends up with Big News Morgans and Wapol of all people, right? We'll be able to see how Sabo ended up going to Lulusia. I just assume it's very close to Mary Joie. That's my guess, but we'll see how he ended up to pull that move off, and I guess we will see the start of him finding Emu, or, if a certain YouTuber who talked about it in the live stream today said, like, it will be Emu's reveal. Maybe it will be, maybe it will be. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a fantastic idea. I just personally don't see it happening next chapter. All in all, I genuinely am very impressed with this chapter. I think that it is not maybe chapter of the year material, but it's something close. It's the start of something really good while being very good and very fun. It was a very fun and hype octane pedal to the metal chapter with pretty much no pauses. It was a very cohesive, concurrent, and coherent event. That's the kind of stuff I'm here for. Merch Hunter Ricky, that's been the video. I hope you all have a good one.